What's going on, everybody? My name is Adam. You might remember me from such videos as...
The reason why rock music isn't on the radio anymore is that guitar players are too busy trying to impress each other than to write actual songs that regular people want to hear.
Or...
So why are bands no longer a viable business model in the music industry? A number of reasons.
Ever since these videos blew up on TikTok, I found myself stumbling into a world that I wasn't really intending on going to, which is music business commentary. But since I do have a degree in music business and we're already here, why don't we go ahead and look around a little bit? If you want to know more about making good money playing music or the latest gear, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We post new videos here every single Friday. So let's talk about that band video. In it, I say that bands are no longer a viable business model, and then I provide some factors that support my statement. Let me clarify one statement though. I say that bands are not a viable business model in the music industry. The music or recording industry is set up as a top-down model, meaning that at the top, you have record labels and gatekeepers who provide resources for artists to do things like sell records, sell merchandise, and tour. Now, the revenue generated by those activities is not paid to the artist, it's paid directly to those people, who then spread it around. Management, booking agent, the marketing department, publicist, the touring company. The last check cut, and normally the smallest one made, is the one that goes directly to the band themselves. They then have to take that small piece of the pie and split it between all of the members. Paying your bills like that is a tall order at best, but there is another option. If you can shift your mindset out of being in the recording industry and think about yourself as being in the entertainment industry, that is a totally different ballgame. So you're not a musician, you're an entertainer. Entertainers don't need to concern themselves with the arbitrary rules that musicians and artists set, because their primary goal is to build an audience and to entertain them. Sounds kind of familiar, right? If they do that well, that audience will follow them around, continue to keep tabs on them, and support them monetarily. Isn't that what all songwriters and performers want as well? So the question you need to consider is, do you want to make your money making music or playing music? For those wanting to make music, consider this. In most bands, there's a creative nucleus of maybe one or two people, and the other musicians, while contributing, don't necessarily play a part of the process outside of live performance. Are you able to create the music you want with maybe one or two other people? If so, you should. With digital distribution, record labels have way less leverage. The ability to record and self-release material makes it a much more level playing field. And by keeping the creative team small, any revenue that is generated can be split in a way that is much more practical to make a living doing it. Also, it may provide you a budget to hire musicians to fill in those gaps if and when you choose to perform live. Some projects don't play live or tour at all, and they're still making solid streaming revenue. So for those who want to make their living playing music, there are way more options to consider. You can play solo as a busker or play at bars and restaurants. You could be a hired gun in projects that need an instrumentalist or vocalist for touring or studio work. You could start a cover band like a lot of our subscribers do. Cover bands can be very lucrative endeavors, and the methods for building a following for original bands or on social media can be used to build audiences for cover bands as well. I use the DIY marketing skills I learned playing in punk bands to build followings for all of my projects. Also, lots of cover projects record original music too, and the revenue generated by those shows can fund much higher end productions for original music. It's kind of the best of both worlds. Now, I'm not telling you to go one way or the other. It really boils down to what gives you the most energy. If you want to try to make a living doing both, you may try to pour all of that energy into that single creative project, or maybe you use the work stuff to fund the fun stuff. It's really up to you. Also, I feel like this is a given, but if music's not a money-making venture for you, that's totally fine. Some people just make music because they love it, but some people put a lot of work into mastering an instrument, and they've got student loans to pay off. No one way is better than the other, but I wanted to clarify that this message is specifically for people who are looking to make music their livelihood and not just a passion project. And everybody's situation is different. Maybe you work a day job and this is just a fun thing for you on the side. Just be open-minded about the possibilities that are available. They may not necessarily be the most obvious or traditional paths, but there are many ways to make good money playing music. Well, I hope this cleared a few things up. Ultimately, my goal is to help you go further faster in your music career, regardless of what path you may take. Well guys, that's gonna do it for this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also follow me on all of my channels. TikTok is blowing up at the moment, so there's a lot of stuff going on over there. Also consider supporting us on Patreon at the $5 tier. You get access to an exclusive Slack channel full of people just like you looking to make good money playing music. Have an awesome week, and we will see you next time.